Good morning. Hopefully everybody can hear me kind of loud anyway. So a lot of you in the room are familiar with how before everything starts, before you even start mixing material, there's a lot of things that leads up to the process of making sure everything is done correctly. Mixing is just one step of this whole process. It's very, very important to mix it correctly, but you have to start out with actually surveying what's going on with the substrate. What caused the failure that you're trying to repair? And once you determine that, and you can remove that excess material, sometimes you move some actually good concrete in order to make that pour with as least amount of turns and curves as possible. Points. So if you can make it square, that's great. Just don't have a lot of, looks like an octagon in there, because you have a lot of points on the ends that cause some stress. So once you evaluate that and remove the excess and the bad material, you may notice some rebar. If there's rebar in there and it's damaged, you need to get a structural engineer involved and find out if it's something structural that needs to be replaced. If it can just be cleaned, it has to be a whole bar replaced in there. And if the bar is exposed and you get it clean, make sure that you can get about 3/4 or a finger or something underneath it. That way the material encapsulates that rebar. And that way you don't have the rebar on the top, just material, and that's a bond line there. So make sure that you can actually reach your finger underneeth that. So, and I've got a little reserve that I need. This is the total amount of water that this material needs. So just always make sure that you don't overwater, because overwater is not always better.
And for those of you that are familiar with the 1060, it's kind of an interesting fact. The 1060 got, the way it got its name was 10 minutes of working time, open it up to vehicular traffic in 60 minutes. So it's a very fast-setting material. Something like Brian mentioned in the summertime, it's really important to make sure you know which material you're using those hot days. That 10 minutes of working time is really tight. So if you're mixing this material and you're moving it to place it somewhere, you could end up with a couple boat anchors by the time you're placing it. So make sure you got the right material. Yeah. Well, we haven't got there yet. And we have this chart up here as well. One of the important thing with concrete repair is to make sure you're selecting the right material. And that's what we're trying to talk about today is that our neat version, you can place it from a 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. And like Brian mentioned, about 18 months ago, we came out with an extended version of that, so that if you get into a situation where you're going from 1.5 inches to full depth, you don't have to extend it on site. Brian's going to place this, but it's kind of tough to see in this environment, but we wanted to give you a perspective on what our neat version looks like as far as a cloud of dust may look like. It's kind of tough to show that from your perspective here. Can you move that? Can you move the chart back? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Sorry about that. So a couple things with this product: you can strike it flush, you can broom finish it, you can do a lot of different things with it. But as most of us in the audience know about the new silica laws of OSHA and the new regulations that recently came out, well, we're excited to announce the new DR version of this product. It's not dust-free, but it's dust-produced. It'll reduce the dust as far as from a mixing standpoint. So we're not solving the problem, but we are certainly trying to help. It can save a lot of time with cleaning out respirators and that sort of thing. But it's a nice innovation to support the industry and trying to create safer work environments for you.
Some of the things when you see a repair that people do is they overwork it too long, and it gets to the point where it's starting to sit, and they're really starting to trowel it in and working it, and all of a sudden they're ripping it off the bond line. You'll see people take the trowel, they go from existing concrete over the existing repair out, and it pulls it away from that bond line. So usually you want to make sure, whether it's vertical overhead or horizontal, that you push it up against the walls and the sides of the substrate. You can broom finish it at the end, you can trowel finish it, whatever you want to do. So there's just different ways to do it. Just do not mix more than you can actually place. When you get into these fast materials, you mix in a couple of buckets, and then all of a sudden you pour it over there and you got one sitting, you'll come back and you don't have a boat anchor real fast. So make sure you do not mix more than you can actually apply.